Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to my Thursday night PC game live stream. Tonight, we will be taking a look at Banished. Tonight, actually, the next 3 nights after, or next 3 Thursdays after, in fact. Just want to take a moment real quick to explain exactly what this new series is about. Excuse me. What I'm looking to do is feature some of my favorite PC games. Basically do something completely different from GTA Online and GTA 5. So if you're a big fan of those games, you might not like some of these other games I stream, and that's okay. I'm looking to kind of expand my audience and offer more gaming than just GTA and those type of games. I'll be showcasing some of my favorite games, some indie developers and small studio games, as well as taking suggestions from subscribers. If you have a suggestion of a game you would like to see featured in any of my live streams, then you can send that to me via Twitter at Brandon72Mo. That's BRANDON72MO, which should also now, hopefully, eventually, if Google ever makes the change, be my actual name that pops up on my channel. I know right now it's still got my full name on there, but I made the change today. I don't know how long it'll take to carry over to YouTube. But yeah, so tonight we're going to be looking at Banished, and we'll be doing that for, oh, wow, Toby's barking already. We'll be looking at this game tonight for the next 3 weeks after. And hello to the gamer, welcome. So if you have any suggestions, please send those in, and I will definitely take a look at the games you guys suggest that I play. But each of these games, unless it's a really small game that could be done in just one live stream, most likely will be like month-long type series. Just 4 Thursday nights in a row of looking at different types of games that I want to do. So let's take a look at Banished. And one of the things that I really like about this game, you can see it's put out by Shining Rock Software LLC. If you look closely there at the bottom, that really is one guy. That whole studio is one dude. From what I understand, he has done everything in this game. The game engine, the balancing, the art assets, the music, all of it. And it actually has kind of a delightful little soundtrack. It's not too complex, but it very much fits with the theme of the game. Basically what it is, and you'll see here in a minute, is you have to create a village in a town in which some people who have been banished from their colony can survive in. There's 3 different starting levels, and I'll show you those in just a minute. And you've got to basically work the land in various different ways to let them survive. And if you don't keep the right balance, you can wind up with population explosions that you can't support. Going the other way, you may not even be able to support the initial population that you start off with. You start off with like 10 adults and like 9 or 10 kids. And you got to keep those 20 people alive and build the resources so that they'll reproduce and have more children that will eventually grow up. Eventually you want to introduce education, because educated workers are better workers. They yield more for your town, and on and on and on. One of the cool things though about Banished is it has an extensive field of mods that are available to it. You can see some of them that I have installed. All these that you see here in green are things that I actually have enabled currently. The one that probably makes the biggest changes are these CC mods, Colonial Charter. It's just a group of fans that have put together some very extensive additions to the game that really expand it out. And give additional resources that you can get, different basically chains of how you can chain different resources together to build a new resource and a better resource, a lot of things like that. And then I've got some other things in, like the chapels can hold up to 250 people. They got some things that make you get better yields from certain things, just because I kind of am not the best at this game yet. So I wanted to do that. Toby, you gotta stop barking, buddy. And on and on and on. I don't have they're not really cheats. They don't you know, just make the thing OP, but they definitely help a little bit. And then I've got the debug menu. I'll try to stay away from that. Basically, if you get into dire situations, you can, you know, help yourself out a little bit. But I'm going to try to stay away from that. I usually succeed in staying away from that. So let's get started here. Before I get started, though, send a shout out to my good buddy Tyler. He's in chat right now. What's going on, man? I was just playing GTA 5 with him just a few minutes ago. So there, I'm sure he's missing me right now. Only an hour and 54 minutes, buddy, and I'll be back. So you click on new game, and we're going to start a brand new game, and you guys are going to be with me throughout this whole journey. We're going to start this village. Hopefully we can make it a big village and wind up using quite a bit of the map. The cool thing about this is, like a lot of games that are coming out now, is these seeds will generate a completely new map. Every one I click on, that's a whole different map. Some people have posted their own seeds online of really cool maps. I tend to just generate a random one. Same thing with the name. I just click randomize until I find one. There we go. No, I don't want Chabello. Let's go with Rhinebeckville. No? No, let's not go with that. We'll find a good one here. We'll find a good one. Come on, give me a good one. Give me a good name. Geisterford, no. Simpson, no, I don't know how to pronounce that. I want something Ville or Berg or ooh, Whetstone. What? No, I can't even pronounce that either. I want something I can pronounce. Come on, Rome Woodcock. All right, that just lots of jokes. Kirkvillis. There we go. We're gonna be Kirkvillis. These are just different things. These CC things are things that were added in by the mod. Normally you get valleys or mountains. Those are your two choices. But the mod gives you things. I really like playing on plains here because it kind of gives you some flat plains with some hills. I'm actually going to bump this down from very large to just large since I'm running my streaming software in addition to the game. I don't want my computer to get too taxed. I'm going to go with a very mild climate. That way the winters aren't too terribly harsh. Leaving disasters off because the disasters are like I'll still get plagues, but they won't be as bad. But this way I won't get fires and things like that consume half my village and everything like that. And then you have a couple different starting conditions. You know, I don't know what these are. I know that this one you start out with 2 people and nothing. Don't want that. I tend to go for medium. As you can see, it adds to livestock. Begin with 5 families, clothing, food, firewood, tools, and construction materials are provided. Storage barns already been built. Some seeds for fields and orchards are available, as well as a herd of livestock. It's a good place to start. Normal medium, it stops there after a storage barn has been built. So this is what the custom one adds in from that. So we're going to click that and get started. As you can see, your country has rested all their colonial ambitions, blah, 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 on your adventure. Your job is to ensure the survival of your country's citizens. So here we go. Wish me luck. The first thing I do as soon as I get in this game, always, is pause it. Because I want to kind of take a look at the map. I also want to open up some tools that I regularly use. Things that kind of help you keep an idea of what's going on. As you can see up here in the top left-hand corner, this shows me my population problems. Right now I've got 16 people and they're all homeless. There is a barn and there is a stockpile. That's it. That's all I've got to start with, and these 16 people. Everything else is going to come from the land. One thing I like about this starting map that I'm very pleased that I got is that I'm really close to a river, which means I can quickly get a couple things that come off the water, especially a fishing dock, because they can really help out your people a lot to start with. This shows you how much stored logs you have, stored stone, stored iron, stored fuel, which can be coal, wood that's been chopped, and a couple other things. Stored materials is kind of a vague thing. There's a lot of different materials, and we'll get more into that as we get in there. The number of tools you have. If your people don't have tools, they can't really work. They can work the land, but not very effectively. So we'll get into making a blacksmith probably tonight. And then how much food they have, which that's not much. for 16 people, that's not even enough to get through a whole. That won't even last us in the summer. The amount of medicine you can store, the amount of clothing stored, which basically I have 2 sets of clothing, not even quite, and you can do alcohol. This is their health, and this is their happiness. Right now, everybody's healthy and happy, but that doesn't stay very long. So just kind of looking at the land real quick, I just want to get a good idea of the map. I know this might not make a lot of sense if you've never seen this game before, but I just want to get a good idea of where I am. Cool, there's a big lake right here. That'll come in handy. Kind of flat too, so kind of glad to see that. Like, we can do a lot of agriculture down here. And over here, of course, we'll have to build bridges for them to be able to get across there successfully. Toby, you really need to quit. But these rivers are what makes me very happy, and the fact that there's another big lake just right there. One of the other tools that I open up is the event log, just so that I can kind of like keep an eye on what's happening. Because the game, especially if like people start dying en masse, you'll just hear bing, 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 people dying. And I want to be able to keep an eye on what's happening. Plus, if I happen to miss something, I can just see it here in the event log. So I always have that one open. Sometimes I open the map, not always. We'll have it open for now, but that just kind of helps me get my bearings, because you can, move all around, you can zoom in and out, and every once in a while it's easy to lose where you are, so having the map open can really help. And this is the job panel. And as you can see, this mod adds a lot of jobs. Normally it would fit in this little area, and actually it would probably end right here. This mod adds in a ton of new things that you can do. And of course, you want to assign these people to jobs as quickly as possible. Like, as soon as I build a fishing dock, I want to assign people to fishing. But yeah, the gamer, I've never played Clash of Clans, so maybe it's like Clash of Clans, maybe it's not. And one of the cool things, you can also save camera locations. So like, if you've got a place that you need to go visit every once in a while to check to see how it's doing, you can do that. Don't even know what that little icon is. This is just help and reference material, and that's debug options. I don't even know what's in help and reference material. Oh, it's just like an encyclopedia. Yay. So yeah, and then you've got your time controls. I wish that would stay open always, because I use it a lot, but whatever, it is what it is. These are the different houses. This is roads and bridges. This is your storage places. This is like city, town services, things like that. Your food production, all the different things you can use for food production, your resource production, your alcohol production, which they like their alcohol, believe it or not. This is all really just decorative, except for this last one. You can build a house right on the water edge. This is all really, truly just decorative type stuff, which we'll get into that, but it's stuff that really takes a lot of resources, so it's things that I tend to wait. And then you can remove different things to here, and then of course it takes you to your options menu, but I don't want the options menu right now. One of the first things I do want to get in this game, though, to get it started, you've got to have a place. First of all, to store food, we've already got that. So the next thing we want is a place for everybody to live. We've got 10 adults, so I need to get 5 houses. That way they can start having babies. So I'm going to need to find a place that I want to build 5 houses, and then after that I want to get a food source, which will start with just a very basic one and move on from there. So first things first, just so that everything's nice and convenient, we're going to build the wooden house, which provides basic shelter. Not the best as far as terms of like what can be heated and or how warm they can stay, but it's good basic shelter. And I want to leave enough room for a road to go in through here, so I want to make it like here. And you can rotate these around. One of the cool things you'll see as I start dropping these down is that the models for the houses change automatically, so you don't just have 5 of the exact same house. You get some variety here. So got that, that's awesome, but now I don't, as you can see, I need 10 people to build, but I only have 10 laborers available. So what I'm going to do is jump this to about 4, get those 4 guys started on some houses. In the meantime, we're going to go to removal and destruction tools and tell them to remove resources. I know I'm gonna eventually use all of this area. It won't remain wooded. I wish there was some woods down here. That would be helpful, because eventually we'll want like a wood cutter and things like that, but we may have to put them kind of, God, there's not really a good place for that. That's going to be a challenge for us. a big challenge. I may have to leave some of this here and make that where the woodcutters can go. It's awful close to my main town though, but it is what it is. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is tell these guys to remove resources from about this line north. They're going to collect all the trees, all the stone, all the iron that's in those places. So let's get them started. If we do it on one, oh yeah, one thing I wanted to do, hold on. One thing I want to do here that's really cool is each of these people, oh, hold on. Each of these people here, you can find out details about them. You know, like this is Rathina. She's age 17. Her clothing is ragged. She's not carrying a tool. Obviously, she's a female. Her job currently is a labor, and she is educated. And she has nothing in her inventory. Like, they'll go to this barn, get food, take it back to their house, things like that. What I want to do, though, is we're going to keep an eye on her for tonight. We're going to leave her pinned, and we're going to see what happens to Rathina. And that's one of the cool things. Like, they'll move through different jobs. They age. They have children. You can see where they're living at any given time. Like, we can even follow her around if we want to and see exactly what she's doing. You know, right now she's just, there she is highlighted in yellow. She's carrying resources from the stockpile over to one of these construction sites because she's a laborer and that's what they do. But, and then you can exit follow mode and just go right back in there. But we're going to leave her pinned so that we can see what she's up to this whole time. Once she gets a house, we'll be able to click here, see what house she has. But yeah, you don't want to play it this slow because it just gets really takes forever, as you can see. It is currently early spring in year 1. I'm going to bump this up to 5 times, let them get some of that resource gathering going on and get some of these houses built, and then we'll move into the next item that we want to build. What's going on, Blake Mitchell, aka Death Game from GTA Online? How you guys doing tonight? I know this is very different from GTA, and that's what I wanted to do, is something very different. There we go. We've already got 2 houses, and you can see our homeless problem's already disappearing. As these people get houses to live in, they'll move into them. Sometimes you build enough houses, and for some reason, like, single people will move in. Like, I bet one of these has just one adult in them somewhere, and that one doesn't have anybody in it yet. We'll see where these 4 guys go. There we go. Homeless problem solved. Done. Just that easy. So now we need to get some food. For some reason, these guys are cold. You can look here, it's 48 degrees and raining in the spring. Okay, so maybe they're a little cold. If they're cold for too long, they will die of hypothermia, or they'll freeze to death. So, since my wooded area is here, what I'm going to have to do is leave this wooded, because we're going to have to use like a gatherer's hut and a place for woodcutter kind of down here. So I'm gonna have to like just develop this direction for my town and leave some of the more natural resources there. Come here, Toby. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, kiddo. Come here, kiddo. Stop barking, okay? So the first thing I want to do, food production. That's very important, and I just want a basic gatherer's hut, and I always forget what it looks like. I know it's one of these. There we go, gatherer's hut. And I want it to be right on the edge of town so they don't have to walk too far, but you want it to be in the woods in an area where you're not really disturbing natural resources too much. You kind of also want to line it up with where this road is going to go. What I can do is plop down a road, kind of get the idea of where it's going to be here. It doesn't want to go straight though, because there's currently a resource blocking that. That's okay, because we're not even going to really build this road. We're going to tell them to cancel it. Just as soon as I build it, I just want to see where this line's going to be here. It'll be like there. There we go. Okay, I just want to get that as a reference for my gatherer's hut. It's good to have straighter roads than not straight roads. Okay, there's my road. It's going to be on that level there. So let's plop them down right there. That's right on the edge of the town. Now what I'm going to do is go tell them to delete roads, which if you haven't really built them yet, it just tells them don't build them. So we're going to get that gatherer's hut going here. As soon as construction starts on that, which I only need 3 people doing construction. Look at that, the reserve of firewood's already low. Already, because it got cold here early spring. And that's not good. So we've got to get these guys going. Oh, I told them to chop down the trees up here, didn't I? Crap. cancel that, cancel that, cancel that. Cancel removal in this area. There we go. Yeah, we want that area definitely left alone, and this area left alone. Not sure if I told them to go down there, but we're going to be sure here. Now, there's just so much to manage in this game, and it's easy to get lost on what you're doing. So yeah, we're going to get this Gatherer's Hut going. As soon as they start construction on it, I'm going to, right across the road from it, start a woodcutter, which is this guy? No, not a woodcutter, but a forester lodge. As soon as construction starts on this guy here, we'll plop this down and get this started, and that way they'll work this area of forestry. They'll not only cut down trees, but they'll also plant new trees, so it'll constantly regenerate trees. And for the most part, they do a good job of managing the forest. They usually don't get it too thin. They don't let it get too overgrown. So we're going to let, hopefully, yeah, there they go. They're starting to cut down the trees. You can see right there, if I get rid of this, you can see they're cutting down trees. We can follow the progress of what's going on with our Gatherer's Hut. We need 8 trees removed. As soon as they do that, they'll start bringing in these resources. And then my builders will come in, and that's how many, basically, energy of building that are required to get that going. So, oh, look at that. Handler has become an adult and is working as a laborer now. So already we've got an extra adult out there gathering things. Another thing we want to keep an eye on is this stockpile's already getting really full because they're out here cutting down all these trees and doing all that. So one of the things we're going to want to do quick is also get a woodcutter going, which we'll put him like right here in the center of town. So he's just cutting wood for these guys. We'll put a separate fuel stockpile right next to it so they can come and just get their firewood. But we've got to get this under construction before anything else, because this is going to be our first source of food. We'll get the woodcutter going. We'll get the forestry lodge going. And then hopefully we'll have enough time to build a fishing dock before winter sets in and we can't catch many fish. So we shall see, but we need this Gatherer's Hut to really hurry up. There is a way to really prioritize what they're doing, but it doesn't add super fast priority, so I really don't go in there and do a whole lot of that, just because it doesn't really... Oh, we've had children born. We've had Nick and Mila? I don't know if I'm saying that right. So now we're up to 11 adults, 0 students, which these guys will just become adults if they don't become students. So we're going to need a school eventually too. There's not any really a tech tree or anything like that. There we go. They got that built. Let's get this forester lodge going right across the street here. And where do I want that? Right about there. Get that thing building, and now you can see there's a big question mark here on the Gatherer's Hut. That's because if you go over here in this menu, the Gatherers don't currently have anyone assigned to them. So we need to move up to 4 people. You don't have to have all 4, but since I want to get this food stockpile, as you can see, the reserve of food is low. We want to get this food reserve, which is now 0. If you go and click on some of the houses, they may actually have, they've got food. It's a bunch of potatoes, but they've got food. So we'll be okay for a very short term, but we got to get some food coming in quick. So I'm going to go ahead and assign all 4 of those guys there, because it's just absolutely necessary. Just absolutely necessary. And we're going to get this Gatherer's Hut going, or sorry, this Forester Lodge going. And you know what? It's already summertime, so I'm even going to go ahead and I'm going to get construction on this woodcutter, because we're out of firewood. Let's see, my road's going to be kind of there, so I want him to be right here, and we're going to build a separate storage area for just fuel, which this mod that I'm playing with lets you do wood, fuel, stone, and iron on their own. But I want a fuel stockpile. It doesn't need to be huge to start with, just a small one. Just kind of match that one that's over there, and that should be enough for now. And then as soon as that gets built, we'll assign a woodcutter, we'll assign a forester, and then we got to be careful because we're running out of people already. We got to get some of these people to grow up into adults. We might not even be able to do the fishermen this season. We might have to wait until some more people become adults. Otherwise, we won't have any laborers to go and clear the land and take resources out there. You know, so we've got to really keep our eye on it. And if you look, Rathina changed jobs. She's no longer a laborer. She now works over here in the Gatherer's Hut, which is kind of cool. That's one of the things I like about this game is you can just follow around individual people in there, all the way from, if you want, their birth, all the way through to their death. It's just really, really cool. She's now 20 years old. It doesn't go a year per in-game year for some reason. It's just, I think it's just so that you don't have just way too much of a population boom. But you can see these guys are out here in the woods gathering things up. Man, they're just really slow on the construction here. Laborers haven't even come and started chopping down the trees here yet. They've got to get on that, because if our woodcutter doesn't have any wood to cut, we won't get any firewood. But there you go. See, since we've got gatherers going, we now actually have stored food. Each of these houses, the residents will go up to this barn, they'll get their food, they'll bring it back to their house, and all of that's going on. I'm going to slow down the speed here for just a minute and step away for just a moment so that I can figure out why the dog's barking, so he doesn't do that through this whole video. So you won't hear me for a few minutes, so watch these guys in slow motion. You guys keep an eye on Rathina for me. Make sure she keeps her job going, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to deal with the dog. He decided he was hungry. So, yeah. Hello, Gaming King, and hello, Destin Stanley, a.k.a. Kiltastic98. Welcome, guys. I'm going to speed this back up now so we can get some construction going. And boy, they are not progressing at any pace. They haven't even begun taking anything there. They, for some reason, aren't doing this. The laborers can be really finicky. I think it's because they're trying to remove resources. Sometimes the game just gets a little weird like that, and you'll just have construction stall. I haven't really figured out yet what causes that. I've run into this problem a couple different times, and it's really frustrating because, you know, other than telling them, hey, hurry up, there's not a whole lot I can do. Like, I can tell them to increase priority on our foresting lodge, and hopefully they will. It doesn't always really work, but we're gonna try it. If I had another storage area, I'd go ahead and have them collect stone and wood, but we're not doing a whole lot of construction or stone and iron, so we'll let them do their thing. We are starting to run out of clothes too, though, so I've got to think about a tailor here really soon. I mean, there's just so much at the very beginning of this game, and here we are, late autumn. We've got a good amount of food, but once winter kicks in, which, my God, it's already snowing, just late autumn. Once winter kicks in, the gatherers can't collect as much food because obviously there's not as much you know, naturally growing things like herbs and all that. Like, they collect onions and herbs and things that would naturally just kind of grow. That's what the gatherers are collecting. I really wanted to get a hunting cabin in because not only do they go hunt and bring in different types of meat, which you want to have a variety in their diet to keep them healthy, but the hunters will also produce leather, which is needed for the tailor. So I could build a tailor right now and it wouldn't do me any good because there's nothing for them to tailor. There's nothing for them to craft with. So yeah, this game's already starting out a little iffy. I've had some games that I have no problems with, and I have some like this where they just kind of don't do anything. So we've got laborers. We've got more than enough laborers to go in and I need to get, there we go, to get this built. But as you can see, until they chop down those trees, nothing's gonna happen. Same thing here. I don't know what all my laborers are up to. We can cycle through them, see what they're doing. That one is idling. For some reason, they're all just idle, and I don't really understand why. It's kind of frustrating because I need them. You know what? Let's move some of them off and make everybody builders because I really need to get that going. Hello, E. Wilson 16 Wilson. What's going on? See if maybe we can get some of these guys switched over to a different job. Because if the builders can't build, they will go just in any career or any job here in these professions. If they cannot currently do their own profession, they will default back to doing the job of a laborer. So sometimes you can kind of trick the game a little bit like that and tell them, I really need you to, you know, go do that. And then when they realize they can't, they'll go be a laborer. So, Tyler Gambon, you guys are gluttons for punishment. Am I saying your last name right? I think I am. Yeah, I remember you from a few streams back, E. Wilson 16 Wilson. This one's a lot different tonight, doing a much different game than GTA. Much different game. So, as you can see, though, it can be frustrating because, man, we're in late winter and these guys still haven't built a forester lodge, and they've got to hurry it up because this is gonna just stall everything. Without that, they're going to run out of firewood really quick. Thankfully, they've got logs, but they don't have any way to turn that into firewood, and we're out. We're out of firewood. So if this winter gets harsh, I'm going to have people freezing to death. As you can see, I've already got 2 houses that are saying we're cold because if you go to their inventory, they have no fuel at all. These guys have just a little firewood left. Very little. That is not enough to get through the winter, and they don't share. Once they have it, like once these guys lose all their firewood, they're gonna say they're cold. I have no idea why these guys aren't building. It seems as though they're being buggy tonight, which that just happens sometimes. This game is still in alpha state. I think it could be completely done, but from what I understand, it's still being developed. So there are still some bugs in it, but usually this doesn't happen. We may wind up with everybody dying, and that might be the end of Banished. Now, we'll start a new game if that happens. Hey, Blake Foreman, what's going on? Welcome. Much different live stream tonight. Just a single-player PC game. Thankfully, even though, we made it through winter awful quick. Wow, that's good. So hopefully these guys will stop freezing to death now that it's 65 degrees outside. And maybe they'll get their asses to work. I really don't get what's going on. Why they're not doing their jobs. I'm going to take all of them off building. So hopefully the laborers will get out there and do what they need to do. My food is good, so I'm going to take for just a moment a couple of these gatherers. Where the gatherers go? There they are. I'm going to drop that down to just 2. We're going to keep an eye on the food. And hopefully with all these extra laborers, they'll get their asses out there and, well, labor will leave them 2 builders. They'll idle, but we can go and look and see what they're doing. He's just gonna go get something to eat. She's allegedly working. What she's doing, I don't know, because she can't build here and she can't build here. This is really frustrating. Sometimes if you pause construction, Sometimes they'll get confused with 2 construction sites and they'll just go idle instead. So pause them for a second, unpause it, and then maybe they'll come out here and the laborers will start doing their job of clearing these trees and actually get some stuff building. That's the hope. One thing we can do to help them out a little bit, let's go ahead and build that road. Let's get that in there. That way they can get back and forth between here a lot quicker. And if you go in closely, you'll actually see one of the builders come in with a pickaxe and start building this road out. It's just a dirt road, so he just clears out what's there and goes from that. I can't really clear any more resources at the moment because my resource storage is full. I don't need any more of those resources right now. It's plenty of logs, there's plenty of stone, there's plenty of iron for what I want to do. I mean, this guy only needs 12 stone and he needs a bunch of logs, but we've got plenty of logs. And once he gets built, he'll start producing more logs. So we'll see what happens. I hear people doing things. I think it's just the road getting built, though. But hopefully if we get a road built, they'll walk out there a little bit better. Sometimes it's just what I have to do to get it done. I am going to, even though I said I'm not going to remove forestry stuff, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell them to get all the stone and iron out of here, which will improve the yield for the gatherers and the woodsmen once they're there. And we may as well give these freaking laborers something to do. God knows they're not doing anything. It says she's working. She's back to being a laborer now, but, well, they're not laboring. They still haven't cut down the trees. Sometimes you just have to completely cancel it and start it again. But that might be what we have to do here. Because I can't go into another summer with absolutely no stored fuel. They've got tools. They've still got clothes, thankfully. And see, since my storage is full, they just leave it kind of sit where they gathered it until there's room and storage. We can expand that storage a lot, but I'm not going to right now because I'm already trying to get these guys to build this. But I am going to stop this one and replace it. Hopefully they'll do it this time. I'm not sure what's going on. I may switch mods that are installed if this keeps happening. So this is the first time I played with this version of the mod. They update it constantly. So I don't know if this one's just a little buggy and maybe isn't quite working right. But the game's not going to work. If I'm surprised that these guys aren't dead yet, truth be told. That they survived a winter with just a Gatherer's Lodge is a miracle and a half, honestly. I mean, absolutely. There's no trees to remove this time, guys, so you just got... There we go. They're bringing in logs now. Good, 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 good. So, hopefully this will get built. Let's go ahead and unpause this woodcutter so they'll start bringing resources here, because they did remove that one tree, even though there wasn't really a tree there. There we go. Good. See, it's just glitchy sometimes. We got around it. We're going to be okay. And that'll also lower what we have going on here, because once we have the woodcutter, he'll start pulling these logs, cutting them, and turning them into fuel, which will go over here in the fuel pile. So our storage problem will go away. Then they'll start collecting this stuff that's just sitting out here and bringing it over here, and we'll be in better shape. So keep your fingers crossed. And our food's holding out fine. We still have 500 food. They're not burning through it really quick. Good, good, good. We have a place for a woodcutter now. Only takes one. So we'll assign a woodcutter. Somebody will go to work there and start chopping the wood. Like, you can zoom way in on it here, and you'll actually see somebody arrive here in a minute and start chopping the wood. Like, you'll see, there we go. See, there she goes. She went over here, got some logs. Now she's making that. Now she'll carry it. Well, she's going to go take a lunch break. But eventually she'll chop wood. You'll see her carry it over to here, go back here, get more supplies, and she'll just continue that. But once she gets full here, then she's gathering it up. She's gonna hopefully come over here with it. There we go. But people, because they don't have firewood, are instantly coming to get it. So it's gonna take a little while for this place to fill up here, but that's okay. At least we've got it now. What are they telling me? Reserve of firewood's low? Yeah, we're on top of that now. Don't worry. Be fine. We'll be fine. So as soon as I get this forester's lodge built, I'm going to build a hunting lodge and then a fishing pier, and then hopefully we won't run into more bugs. because we've got a lot of stuff we need to get going, because those tools aren't going to last, and neither is the clothing. The tools eventually wear out, and the clothes eventually wear out. If they don't have clothing, then they freeze to death in the winter. There we go! We have a forester's lodge, so they will keep the supply of logs coming in for building as well as for firewood. We're going to go ahead and do all 4. Now we've got builders, and a good thing to do in a wooded area is also a hunting cabin, which we're going to put that right next to the gatherers. This is a little far to have these guys walk for work, but it's not so far that they can't get there, so they should be alright. We'll get this thing built, we'll do a fishing cabin, just so I've got multiple sources of food coming in. You always want a variety in their diet. You can see, because they've only been eating stuff that's been gathered, they're not very healthy. You want a variety in your diet. Hey Paige, welcome back to my live stream. Doing something a little bit different tonight, but I'm glad to see you tuned in here this evening. You got a nice warm autumn. Man, it's 88 degrees in the first part of autumn. Gosh. Actually, since winter's coming, we probably won't build that fishing dock. We'll let the hunters get started, and we'll move on to like a tailor's hut and a couple other things. Basically, what I want to get, we've got the gatherer's hut in, we've got a forester's lodge, we've got a hunting cabin being built right now, probably a blacksmith, and a tailor will be the next 2 things I go with, actually. So, we'll see what happens. Sorry, I was just kind of listening to the music there in the game for a minute. I don't know how loud the music is for you guys, but I love the soundtrack to this. It's a very simple soundtrack, but this is one of these games that I have literally started playing like at 8 p.m. and before I know it, it's the next morning and the sun's coming up, because you can just get so involved in managing this and building it and getting your town to grow and to be successful. So yeah, we're just getting started right now. You know, we've got 21 people, but by the end of the night, I'm hoping after the end of 2 hours, we should be up near 30 or 40 by the end of the month, doing this 2 hours at a time, because I'm only going to play this particular town during the live streams. You guys, I won't work on this. I won't go in and change anything. You will see this whole town develop. We will follow Rathina here until she's dead, and then we'll pick somebody else. But she's just 26 now. She's fairly healthy. She'll probably live into her 50s, maybe her 60s. But you can get people up to 70 and 80 years old when you've got your health maxed for everything. You can build clinics, you can assign people as physicians. And if you have all that, their health just continues to increase. So just going to keep getting this hunting cabin built. For some reason, we kind of stalled again. They don't like to do as much work during the winter, basically, because they get cold. And if they get cold, they have to go back to their house or somewhere else where they can get warmth. And once they're warmed all the way back up, then they can come work again. But see, there you go. Rathina's cold, finding someplace warm. So she just stopped working. So one of my laborers, or one of my gatherers, is now not gathering food, which we're getting a little low on food because our population continues to grow. We're up to 21 people. And kids, they don't do anything. They just eat. They just consume. And eventually they can become students, which you want them to be students because, as I said earlier, students become more productive adults. Like, every job you assign them to, they're more productive in that role. But they also just become a drain on your resources. So this game is just can get out of balance so quickly. It boggles the mind sometimes, because you'll be doing fine, everything will be great, and then one little thing will happen, and all of a sudden everybody's dying on you, and it's just absolutely crazy. Her clothing condition is fair, so she must have went and got some new clothes, yeah, as we used to. She's an iron tool, which aren't the best. We'll eventually be able to make steel tools, but we're not there yet. Got to get these guys to remove these trees. And that little hiccup you saw just then, where it kind of stuttered, that wasn't your internet connection. I've got it auto-saving every 5 minutes. I'm just paranoid about game crashes, so that way, if ever it crashes, I'm only losing 5 minutes of progress, which is basically a season, maybe a season and a half. But we got late winter, and it's 30 degrees. I was looking down here for the temperature earlier. I don't know why, but 8. And it's current weather is sunny, which since we're getting into late winter, we should see this. Yeah, the snow starting to melt. I love the weather effects in this game too. Like when it rains, it really looks overcast and cloudy. But when it's nice and sunny, man, this game is just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. You can zoom way in, see what's going on down here. Why they're not cutting trees? Who knows? Who knows? We've had a couple of problems before, so hopefully let's bump our builders up to 3. They'll idle. Part of the problem may be that my storage area is full, so my laborers don't know what to do with their stuff. So let's go ahead and build another just general stockpile right next to this one, about the same size. Don't really need it, truth be told, but we'll go ahead and build it. The only thing required to build it is remove trees. And that's it. And once all the trees are removed, bam, it's a stockpile. So there you go. See, instantly it's a stockpile. So maybe that'll help them with some of their confusion for not bringing things here. Now they can go get all this crap that they left in the woods, and they can bring it here. So that might have been part of my problem, now that I think about it. Wow, Rathina's not very healthy. She might not live until a very old age. And she's also very hungry, so she's going to go all the way home and get something to eat. And our food's getting low. How many gatherers do we have? And we dropped that down. We're going to have to bump that back up. Which only gives us 4 laborers now. Yeah, we're counting on these laborers to clear these trees and then bring the supplies, and they just don't seem to want to do it. Hey, congrats on the last day of school. I know that's gotta feel nice to have your summer break here. So good job. I don't know how you're visiting an herbalist. We don't have an herbalist. She's visiting someone who doesn't exist yet in this world. Alright, obviously that was a short visit. She figured it out. Oh yeah. The herbalist is also where the medicine that you see quoted over here, they go and collect roots and herbs and things like that. They can turn into medicine. We want to get an herbalist in here pretty quick, but we want to get this honey cabin first. But man, she must be sick because she keeps wanting to go to an herbalist. So I guess we'll have to build her an herbalist, which is another thing I always kind of put out here in the woods because they gather their herbs out here, and they have a massive range. I mean, you can see that circle. I mean, they're going to be gathered all the way over to here, and even in the city, they won't be able to gather anything from here because there's a town there. But we'll go ahead and get them started. Okay, put it there. Why not? Oh, it's overlapping the module. Put an herbalist there, and just finished elementary school. Wow, still summer break. Be a middle school next year. I think I've discovered a village full of lazy people because they just aren't removing the resources, removing those trees. I really need them to. I need them to hurry that up so that we can get that herbalist built, and we'll be out of people that we can assign the jobs. You know what? Let's speed along the collection of all these resources. Get it in our... that's almost full now too. Doggone it. Have they picked most of it up? Yeah, they've picked most of it up, so hopefully that'll take care of it. And they'll get over here and do something. There we go. They're working now. Good job, guys. Good job. Good deal. That's all it was. They wanted to clean up all that stuff. That's what they were confused about, and that's why they weren't working. They didn't know what to do with all this stuff. Silly people. So yeah, you got that must be new. Maybe in this mod, I haven't had that problem before. I've always been fine just leaving it all over the place. Got a decent amount of firewood going. All these houses should have. Yeah, they've got a reserve of firewood. We've got an extra. Fuel is here. Yeah, we got an extra 204. We can see the yield of our woodcutter. This is telling me that I've hit my production limit. Basically, anytime I'm over the amount of what it can store, then they will stop producing and they'll go be a laborer for the time being. Gonna go ahead and get some builders because those places are now ready to be built. And I've got 20 adults now, but only 5 houses. That's why there's no kids being born, so I need to build a bunch of houses. I need 5 more houses now, because I only have enough for 10 adults. Basically, 2 adults will ideally move in and start making babies. And we'll put one up here, that way hopefully one of them can go work at least a little closer to where they live. We need hunters. That's my hunting cabin. That's my forester lodge. Oh yeah, that's right. This is the hunting cabin. Yeah, we definitely need hunters. Which they'll be up here. We need. Let's go ahead and get all 3 of those so we can get some extra food going. So we're running low on food. But I'm fine with this guy being at his limit right now. If we start seeing that our firewood gets low and this always goes to 0%, then I'll change that. Okay, we need an herbalist now, so she can go get her medicine. And we need a lot of builders, but I don't have enough adults to spare, so it's just going to take a little bit for these houses to get built. And you'll see immediately, boom, a builder and a gatherer moved in, and they'll start having babies. If I didn't start having babies, basically, eventually people would die out, and I would have no citizens. So I kind of let that slide. I usually try to keep up with that a little bit better, but I was a little freaked out by this. Forester's saying the same thing. Hey, I've got 200 logs already cut down. You see, we've actually got a little over that. But again, they're using those for these houses, so he'll go back to work as needed. It's not urgent right now for me to increase that limit. Of course, if I increase the limit, then I also have to increase storage capacity, because these places are both nearly full. And what do we have in our barn? We've got some herbs, which good, the herbalist is starting to work. We've got a couple coats. We're going to have to get that tailor in here as soon as good. We've got leather. Let's build a tailor. Let's get that tailor in here, which is under this guy. I'm pretty sure that's the tailor. Yep, that's the tailor. We're going to build a tailor in early autumn. That way they can start getting some clothes. And we're going to start construction on another food source. Even though we're fine on food, we're going to get a fishing dock going here, because we want that variety in their diet. Where can we put the fishing dock that it's going to get the most out of that water? That's a pretty good location. We'll go there. And we'll kind of develop the city this direction. Like, we'll probably have like a market around here, a city hall here, maybe a church here overlooking the water. Because they do like to go to church. That helps keep them happy. Right now they're happy, but well, that herbalist better get to work, because these people are not healthy, and the herbalist helps with that health too. So we got 5 construction projects going, 3 laborers, 3 builders. So as soon as this gets done, we'll have to have a tailor, which is going to take away from yet another laborer that I have, and we're going to be kind of stuck for a minute. Yep, see, we need a tailor now, so they can start making clothes, because we're getting low. 7 sets of clothes for 23 people. It's not enough. It's just not. There we go. They went to the barn. They got leather. Here in a minute, we'll be able to go into production stats. There, see, they've already made 1 coat. And that coat will go here, and we've now gone up in the number of coats that we have. So, pretty cool. I just love that you can track everything that happens. There we go. We've got enough houses for all of our adults. Ideally, you just want 2 adults, because once there's a 3rd adult, they'll stop having babies, because I guess they don't want to do their thing when there's other adults in the house. I don't know. Maybe they're all creepers and they watch or something. Who knows? But yeah. So yeah, we got a fishing dock going. It is late autumn, so the fishing won't be that productive. But once spring comes, the fish will really start rolling in. So I'll probably just assign like half the fishermen for the winter, and then hopefully some of these kids will grow up. So we've had a couple of kids born, 3 actually. Elian, what a name. Wilmerson, oh my god, and Cleaver. Well, there's a serial killer waiting to grow up. But what'd you just finish, Tyler? Racing? Oh, that freaking one you were doing on, what was it? Mules? Oh my god, I can't believe you guys raced that in those horrible trucks. All right, so we need some fishermen. I'm just gonna give them 2 for now. It's plenty. Not gonna do any building projects. in the winter. We're in good shape here, off to a good start. The next thing I'm going to want to do is a blacksmith hut, but I'm going to wait till spring to do that. And then once I have the blacksmith, I'm going to have the basic structure of a town in place. And then from there, we can start figuring out what we want to do to expand. Did I play Altus Life? No, I've never even heard of that. Tell me about it. Not heard of that game at all before. Well, and like I was pointing out earlier, we had the problem, or it wasn't a problem, but he was saying that he had reached his production limit, that there was 200 of fuel, or maybe sheet, it could be a sheet. But now that winter's here, they're going to start burning through that firewood. Like, we'll be able to watch it go up and down. So that's why this guy is now back at work. One of the cool things about this is you can also upgrade these houses. If I clicked that button, the laborers would come in and demolish the house, recover any resources they could, and then bring in the additional resources, turn this into a stone house. And a stone house provides additional warmth, and it keeps them warmer so they don't use as much fuel. Eventually I will start making stone houses, probably like in this area down here, but for now we don't need it. What are you saying? Oh, they don't have any reason. They're out of leather. That's what this means. Material required to perform the work are not available. She only has one, and it takes 2 to make a coat, so it's a problem. I can't upgrade her to a clothier, which will give us additional things that she can make. Right now she can make a wool coat, a full coat, or a linen. The only thing she has available to her is leather, so I can't make any of these. So I've got to stick with just those coats. That's true for a couple of different jobs. Like, you can assign what they're doing. Like, if I only wanted them to cut that, I could take off plants, but eventually they would cut down all these trees, and there would be no new trees to go. If I have both of them on, you can see we've got some going here. We've got some trees that they have planted that will grow up into mature trees that can then be harvested. Unless you want to, you can use a forester to slowly clear cut an area and then develop it, but it's not the best way to do it, honestly. Alright, we're in early spring. I really want some more fishermen, but at the same time I've got to get this blacksmith built, which I'm going to build the blacksmith right here next to the tailor. If I can remember where blacksmiths are, that's a blacksmith, yeah. So we've got to get him turning this iron into tools. We're going to put him kind of like here. Yeah, that's where the road's going to be. I'm going to go ahead and carry this road now on out to the fishing dock so that they can get quicker back and forth to that barn. I'm going to extend this road out a little bit more just so that all these people can definitely get to work. And then eventually this will become stone roads and then brick roads and on and on and on. The better the road, the quicker they travel on them. And then eventually I'm going to have to build a bridge across here. I'll have to bridge this little bit. Anywhere that there's water and I need them to go, that there's not a land connection, gotta build bridges. So, but for now we're going to get this road built here. Let's see what we've got going on. I need a builder. Gotta have a builder. And I need to get a school here pretty darn quick too, and I'm going to want that near these houses so these kids can get to it really quick. Thankfully nobody has died yet. There you can see since we got the herbalist in and more variety in the diet, Athena's health is starting to come back up. She's now 33. Just an hour ago she was a 17-year-old. Oh my god, what happened? I'll have to check that out, Paige. It sounds kind of cool. So yeah, let's get this blacksmith built, and then we're gonna have the basic structure of a town, and then I can figure out where I want to go from there. Some of these kids are gonna start growing up, so I'm gonna have to get a school pretty damn quick. Which that's this. Let's go ahead and plop it down here, and let the laborers start clearing and bringing supplies, and then that one builder I have will eventually get to it. But we're going to need that school so that these guys can go to school and get educated, so that all of these careers will eventually have more productive people working. Man, that for some reason the honey cabin's just not producing enough leather. Normally they bring in a lot of leather. Which one? Where's my honey cabin? One of you guys produced for me. Currency's at only 9, but they're getting a lot of venison. Venison, doesn't that sound good? It's making me hungry. So at this point, we just let this stuff get built, which the builders should be coming in. Yep, my one builder's coming in. Even though it says I need 4, one's enough for now. It'll just take it a little bit longer for that one builder to do this construction. And then he'll be able to jump over here once they bring in the stone and the iron. They've already brought in all the logs that we need, which is strange because normally you can see a little stockpile of logs, but whatever. Once they've brought in all of these, like a foundation will just automatically appear on its own, which we'll watch that happen here. But I want to make sure my blacksmith is not going to finish in the meantime. Let's move that out of the way, because we are going to need to assign a blacksmith. We need some of these kids to grow up too, dang it, because we're out of people just about. And since we're building a school, it's going to take them even longer to grow up. So we're going to be stuck at this level for a little bit. And that happens. You get in periods where you have just massive growth and building and building and building and building. And then kind of slow periods where you're just kind of managing and watching and making sure everything's working. But right now, everything's working great. We've got almost 800 food. We've got fuel stored. We've got enough medicine for everybody. They've got a lot of clothing. So the fact she keeps running out or he keeps running out, no big deal. What our big concern is now is tools. If they don't get tools, all their jobs become very complicated. So we're now going to have a blacksmith. I've got one laborer bringing the supplies here, but thankfully we're done there. So the laborer's just going to kind of idle around. We'll go back and forth between all these places, carrying things around to our storage barn, which is now up to 23% capacity. So we got to keep an eye on that too. We're good on iron. We're good on stone, since we're not going to be building anytime soon. So, but what we do have to now keep an eye on is this iron level, because he is going to start making iron tools. Actually, we want to make iron tools, which will use a lot more iron and wood, but they're better tools, much better tools. Crude tools just aren't the best to have. Let's see. My herbalist says I can only do 100. That's fine. Everybody, our health is steadily climbing, and we're not running out of herbs, so we're okay there. Again, we could probably bump this up a little bit, since they're going to be using more logs now over here in the blacksmith. And in just a minute, we're going to need a teacher. And then I'm going to kind of be out of people to assign to anything. I'll have 2 people left after that, 1 person left after that. So once that builder gets done, we'll drop that to 0 and turn him into a teacher. But yes, so they changed professions and everything. Like, see, old Rathina here decided that she didn't want to be a gatherer anymore, so she went to work across the street and became a forester. So, you know, they just changed jobs as needed. She's up to 35 years old with fair clothing. We're still working with an iron tool. Obviously, she's still a girl. Doesn't have too much in there, but she'll carry logs there, and then you'll see that go back and forth. So those are just the logs that she has felled, and she will eventually, once her inventory gets full, she'll carry it there. But now she's going home. You can see there she is in yellow. She went home to get something to eat. Woodcutter's saying that they're full, but we got plenty of fuel, so we're good to go. So what do you guys think about this game so far? Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think already. I think it's a beautiful little game, quite honestly. It looks very simple, but the graphics are beautiful, I think, especially considering one guy did this. Just one dude made this. You know, we could probably do with a road coming down between these houses to help them travel a little bit quicker. We'll leave a builder. We'll do without a laborer for the moment. And there you go. You can see I can't assign any more jobs. It's all 20 adults working, but my God, did they have a bunch of kids. Just a minute ago, we only had 2, and now there's 14. They make babies quick in this game. Very, very quick. I assume it's because there's nothing else to do to entertain themselves, so they make babies at a very disturbing pace. But yeah, we've got a good skeleton of our town going. So now that we've got a school, there we go. One of the children aged up is now a student, so we now have one kid going there. And that we got to keep an eye on because eventually the school will get full. We'll need more schools. So on and on and on and on it goes. By the way, this game is on Steam. I put some links down in the description below. You can go to the Banished website. I also put the link to the game on Steam. It's only $20. And it's just probably, I think I even got it in the Steam sale for a little bit less, which the Steam summer sale should be coming up. So it may go on sale. It's always a popular one. People always vote for this one to go on sale. But I think I paid less than $20 for it. And honestly, I don't remember the last time I thought, my God, that was money very well spent. So, yeah, I can zoom in. Let's, we can zoom way in and we can follow Rathina here and see exactly what she's doing out here in the woods. She's looking for she's idle because we are at our capacity. But, not the, like, most detailed sprites. Now she's cold, so she's going somewhere warm. She warmed up really quick. But yeah, not the most detailed sprites for the people, but enough that there's some variety. And I'm like, you can see kids are definitely kids and adults are definitely adults. Now she's hungry, so she's going to run home real quick. That must be her house right there. Now she's carrying her tool, which means she wants to go work again. So, yeah, you can go into that follow mode, which is really cool. And then if you go out of follow mode, it just stops where they last were. You can see people just running back and forth doing their jobs. Suddenly got a black stream on the preview for some reason. I don't know why. Let me restart my preview and see what it looks like here. I may miss a... Oh no, it's working. Okay. That was weird. For some reason my screen just went black for a minute, but yeah, it's still going. Okay, good. I got really worried there. Yeah, she will always be highlighted. Because she is the one I have stuck here. And we're going to follow Rathina until she dies. And then we'll pick another one to follow around so we can keep an eye on how she's doing. And look at that, man, that herbalist. Just because we got herbs and added fish to their diet, her health has jumped way up. So we just added to her lifespan. So she should be able to live well into old age. We can go visit her house if we want, so we know that she lives right there. And she lives... with her husband is Zandro the Gatherer, and oh my gosh, they have Cleaver, the future serial killer. That would be Rathina's kid. Yay, we'll have... Actually, that'll probably be the one we follow next. You guys will have to remind me that we're going to follow her kid after she's no longer with us. You can go to their job. You can view what she has done, which again, right now, she's just carrying some logs around. But that's about all. Sometimes she'll go here, get some food. Whoa, our barn's getting full. All these fishermen, that's why. Man, they're making a lot of freaking fish. But I can't do much about it. Eventually what I'll do is build like a trading, or not a trading post, I forget what it's called here. Let's say, I don't remember where it is. I gotta find it. I think it's under storage. It'll be a trading post, which builds on the river, and trading boats come in. And I want to build it a little away from the fish. You don't want to disturb the fishing area too much. So it'll be like the next little development down here. But basically I can then take some of these resources that are stored in the barn and these areas, store them over here, and then when a trade person comes in, I can use those items to barter to get new things. I can buy new seeds, I can buy different types of food, I can buy different types of livestock. And all of that. I should, once I start building livestock fields and everything, already have at least one herd type available. I'm pretty sure that's what it said on the intro screen. And I don't know what types of seeds I have available to me yet, but once we get down into this area, we'll start building some farms and things, and I'll automatically have those. But if I want to get more variety, in what type of things I'm planting, I can do that by bartering with the tradesman that comes via boat. Once I build a city hall, we'll also have to deal with another new thing that comes in. And that'll be nomads, people that currently don't live anywhere. They don't invade. There's no invaders in this. You don't have to defend your town. That's why there's no weapons categories or anything like that. You never get invaded other than, diseases and starvation and freezing to death. And if I had disasters turned on, disasters, trust me, it's all enough to kill your people. You don't need them being attacked too. But once I build that city hall, then nomads will occasionally show up and they'll ask if they can join our city. Sometimes it's good, like right now, if nomads were to come in, that'd be really cool because I could go ahead and build a lot more things and have a lot more people put to work, but I would also have to have houses for those nomads. So, it's kind of a balancing act. If they come in the wintertime and there's nowhere for them to live, they could all come in and then just die. So, one of the things you can build in here to counter that temporarily are these boarding houses. They hold a lot of people. So if you do get a lot of nomads, they'll jump in there real quick and give you a little bit of time. And I usually build one of those right after I build a city hall just to prepare for them. I'd say I accept nomads maybe about 30% of the time because usually my population's high enough on its own. Like right now we're just waiting for these 17 or 15, well now 16 because Garrett was just born. And so was Fletchel. My God, these names. Fletchel, Lawanabelle. Who names these kids? Lawanabelle? That's what I want to name my daughter. Glennie, that's not bad. Garrett's not bad. Fletchel, Lawanabelle. Poor kids are going to be made fun of in school over here. But of course, there's only 2 students right now, so, it'll at least be a somewhat even fight. The 2 with the bad names can pick on the 2 with the good names. Oh God, poor Cleaver over here. Bless his heart. Oh my God, wait. Did she move house? Nope. These 2 must not like each other very much, because as you can see, their neighbors are 2 kids, butt ton of kids. Oh, well, I guess it's just 3. They have 2 kids, well, a child and a student. They have 2 kids, they have 2 kids, they have 2 kids, they have a kid. So, yeah, this house, so, Lusterlin and Mila, not really getting it on very often. And same true for Xandro and Rathina. I'm just going to keep calling her, maybe it's Riathana, but I'm going to call her Rathina. It sounds better. And she's up to 38 years old. God, she was just 17. She was just a young teenager, so just a short time ago. And there's not much more to talk about while we wait for these friggers to grow up. But that's part of the problem of building the school. Yeah, you get more productive people, but they have a shorter amount of time in their life that they're productive. They'll enter the workforce later, but they'll be far more productive. But I really want some of these guys to grow up so I can start building some more things. I really want to get to building a couple houses so that we're prepared for that, and a couple other things here in I'd really like to go ahead and get a hospital built. Don't need a well since I'm not doing that. I'd like to eventually get that town hall built. Really need a chapel because eventually this happiness is going to start going down. And when that's going to start going down the most is when people start dying. If they don't have a cemetery to bury their dead, they get upset. And it decreases their happiness. They want to be able to remember their dead, which, they want someplace to go and mourn, basically. And if they can't, they're not happy. So being sad makes them happy. Right. Da-da-da! Everything is awesome. And we've got up to 21 children now. With only 2 students, so we're at most right now we're looking at 2 adults if they'll just ever graduate from high school. They must be very slow students. And it's summer in year 5 already. In just an hour and 15 minutes we're up to year 5. And I'm not even playing this on the fastest speed. Maybe that's what we should do, is go ahead and turn ahead time, make them go a little faster. Get some of these guys to grow up. And then we can go ahead and move forwards. Basically, we just doubled the speed that we're going on. So our time's going to start flying by, so I've got to watch my resources even closer now. but we're good with everything. I mean, we got way more food than we need for 41 people. That's like way more food than you could ever need. They use about 300 a year each. So yeah, we're way over food. So that's why I want to get this trading post built so I can start trading some of the probably fish. Yeah, we got a lot of fish. I can trade some of this venison, some of these onions, maybe some tools. You know, and those things will allow me to barter, which definitely want to do that. But once I build out this little area with some houses and things, we'll put a market, which kind of functions like a barn. It's just it can hold a lot more. And people will go, and it has a far wider range that people will travel to. There's all kinds of different markets here, but I'll probably build a central market. As you can see, they will come from far and wide to use this thing. So it'll cover like that whole circle. So like down in this area where I have farms, they'll bring their goods to market. They won't even bother with the farm. They'll just bring it there to store things. And you can build specialized markets that are fruit stalls. I don't really use them because one, their range isn't very big, and two, I don't know, it can just cause things to get out of balance. You can also build a rural market. It just doesn't have as big a range, so I tend to go for central markets. Sometimes I'll do rural ones out like in farm country, just so people have a central place to go collect food. Because they will store all of this. They'll store stone. They'll store fuel. They will store iron. They will store firewood. They will store logs, food, clothing, tools. All of that can be stored in the market. So it's a very, very good place to be. This says I can upgrade this into a storage warehouse. I don't want to do that because it's my only barn. Well, the reserve firewood's low, but we're okay because we're in early winter. And we've got plenty of wood. So this guy or girl, I don't really know who works here, but they'll get to going. And they're producing more than enough every year. So just need to keep an eye on that. There we go, up to 11 students. So any minute now, we're going to start getting some more people. And we can start building some shit. That's what we're waiting on right now. This is where the magic of editing would come in handy, isn't it? Yes, it would. But no, Brandon's cheap and won't buy editing software. It does everything in a live stream. So yeah, this makes for some lulls in the action, but not L-U-L-Z. Like, laugh out loud. The lulls is in dull areas. But we'll get through it. Yes, we will. Just trying to think of what I want to do next. I'm pretty sure that we're going to go with, even though it's going to be a little far away from it, I think we're going to do like a church here, maybe a cemetery next to it, like across the street, and then kind of like a town hall in this area, and then like a trading post down here. Probably be a good way to go. And then we can continue our houses. We'll have a row of houses here for these people to live in, and then all this that I want to make agriculture, a place to go. And then we can agriculture all this out, start another little city over here, and then get a massive fishing community going off this lake, and eventually even build an ocean-going ship that will bring us new things that I don't know what they are. So yeah, I am not playing with the most recent version of this, by the way, of the mod that adds all these jobs. It was crashing a lot on me, and it was the only thing that I had changed. So I changed it around. All right, we've got one more person as a laborer now. Let's see if we can't at least get a road in here so I can kind of plan out where I want to go. I kind of want it to go like that. I think I want this to be the end of this row of houses. So what we'll do is see where these two are. I may just put my church here. Put them a church, because they like going to church. Where's my church? There's a parish house. There's also a chapel, and the chapel holds a lot more. It uses a lot more resources. So for now, you know what? This is going to be close to where what's going to become the central part of town. So I'm going to go ahead and just build this big, massive chapel here. Where's my roads? There's my road. You see, it kind of turns red when I overlap the road. So we're going to plop that down. We're going to put a cemetery right across the street from it once they get this all cleared. So we've got 3 laborers. We'll jump one of those over to a builder, So as soon as all this gets done, that builder can start constructing that. We're going to get ready for a cemetery, which is this guy. It doesn't need to be very big, but we'll make it. And the next time we build a chapel, we'll actually have enough resources and enough people that we can spend some time decorating the thing. For now, we don't really have the ability to do that because it would just take way too long. So good, we've got a building going on. Let's go ahead and get the cemetery planned out here. Not going to make a massive one because we don't have a whole lot of people just yet. This is going to be our first cemetery. I'm going to make it about as wide as the church, so it's going to be 8. Let's make it like, it's saying it's too small though. There we go. 7 by 8 is the smallest I can build. Just go ahead and take it out to 8 by 8. And we'll have a good sized cemetery to get us started. And I'm going to make another road right next to all of that. I'm going to bring this road all the way out to here because eventually we're going to have a trading post out here. Do the same with this road. May as well have it in place so that when I eventually start having to come in here and clear all this, we'll have roads to travel on. But we've just got one builder doing all that. He's doing the roads and the church and the cemetery. So we're going to let him get those built. That should take us into winter because this takes a while to get built and then it takes a little while to get built. So going to let that happen here. We are up to now 22 adults and 23 children total, so we're getting there. We're about to double the size of our adult workforce here. I'm going to need to build another house in just a minute, but that's no big deal. I've got places to plop houses in. I'll just build a road up off of that. We'll plop a row of houses in next to the school and be good to go. Let's watch this church get built so we can keep our happiness high. There we go, our church is done, but it's got a question mark, and why is that? Because no citizens are available to work at this area. That means we need a cleric. And now we've got that, and boom, instantly everybody that lives in town is now a member of that church. They're very much one religion type people. Alright, so that is now built. Just back down to one builder, one laborer. Gonna leave it there for autumn. I can probably get started on City Hall. Actually, yeah, let's get started on City Hall from the laborer side of it, and then once spring comes, hopefully we'll have some more builders. Actually, we just had another kid grow up, so let's slow this back down to 5 so it doesn't get away from us. Let's go ahead and build this town hall. So town hall gives us a lot of great statistics about the game, and I kind of want town hall facing this direction. That way they'll be facing like the trading post and things like that. Don't know what we'll put in between there, but we'll figure something out. I want to get it as close to the water as I can. I don't know why. I just think town halls look great next to the water. So those laborers are going to clear those 21. They're going to bring us our resources. How are we doing on them? Yeah, we still got plenty of stone, plenty of iron. So don't need to worry about getting any more of that right now. What's our blacksmith saying to us here? Blacksmith's saying I can't make any more of that, but that's okay. We don't have 50 people yet working. We only have 23 that are working. So I don't need to worry about that. We will see if the builder will get to building. And all my other places have all their jobs. See, the fishermen, man, if I had all 4 of those, this barn would be full. They're already producing way more fish than we even need. Like, way more fish than we even need. So we're going to leave that alone. We'll let City Hall get built over the winter here. And then by spring, it'll be ready, and then I'll show you some of the cool things about City Hall that we have available to us. It just gives us a lot of insight about what's going on in the town that you can't really get from any other screen until you build the thing. So it's kind of good to get it built. I know a lot of people say wait until later in the game to build it, just because it uses so many resources, but I like getting it built earlier because it gives me so much more insight into what's happening in the game itself. Yeah, well, we're going to burn through a lot of stone on this thing. You can see the laborers just brought in everything that we need, so boom, it's a foundation. So now we just got to make sure we've got a builder that can come over here, and actually we'll throw a second one on there, so that hopefully by the end of winter this will be done. And then eventually we'll have some nomads show up. But I don't think we want nomads right now. I don't want to accept them because I don't have anywhere to go. For starters, I mean, I could go ahead and build a boarding house, but it's huge to start with. I mean, I guess I could plop it down like there. No, yeah, it'll fit there, but it's huge. It uses a lot of resources. And I just don't know that I want to really risk unbalancing this just yet. I'd rather let this natural progression of these guys having kids. Well, that's what we were going to do. We were going to build some houses, weren't we? Yeah, we did some houses. We're going to do just stone houses for now, or wood houses for now, and we'll do some stone out here to kind of like, you know, make this look like a nicer area. And then eventually I'll even build some houses on the coast. They're like still houses, kind of. They call them K houses, key houses. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah. And I want to plop this out one more just so they can get to the road. We've got a little space here to deal with. Let's have these guys face. So that road's going to be there. So we're going to go follow the line. There. And I can maybe fit in one or two more houses here. I only really need two more but total, but I want to go ahead and get them built to be ready. Yeah, I can only fit one, so let's cancel that one. Cancel that one. Oh, let's cancel removal. Cancel that one. And we'll give them some space between their neighbors here. There we go. That way they're not all just packed all one on top of the other. And it looks like our city hall's done. It does not require any workers, thankfully. So we can just go, and now you can see, not only do I have this labor information here and all this information, but we can see what's being produced. We don't have to go to each individual building to change our limits on what can be produced. It shows us what we have in all of our inventory citywide. We can sort it by name or by quantity, items in storage, items in trading points. So what do people have in their homes right now? Well, they've got a bunch of fish in their homes. They love their fish. They don't have any tools because they don't store tools in their houses. They don't store herbs. They just go get them when they need them when they're sick. And you can see just what they are storing. I don't have any trading posts yet. What's it say? The reserve of firewood is low. It's because we just got out of winter, though. We're in early spring. We'll be fine. You can see, it's got graphical information that tells us how we're doing over the past year, over the past 5 years. And as we get going, these will be, we can look and see we've had a spike in our population just from where we started to here. Because we're on year 7 now, so this takes us all the way back. You can see if any nomads come in, and this is where you accept them. And this also tells us we currently have sheep that we'll be able to have in our pastures, pumpkins that we'll be able to grow, and olives that we'll be able to grow. Those are the only things right now, if I did fields or pastures, that I would be able to grow. The only way I'm going to get new seeds is by bartering with the tradespeople that come, which I think, since we've got all these extra people, let's go ahead and build a trading post. They do require a lot of workers, though. Do I want it there? It's awful close to my fishing dock. It's my radius of my fishing dock. It goes to about that road. Let's build that here. Where can I put it here? What's in the way here? So the thing is, I don't have any good coastline here. I guess I could turn it. Nope, still not a good enough coastline there. That gets in the way of my road. Can I put it here? No. Yeah, I'm going to have to kind of get in the way of the fishing dock. That's okay. They're making way more fish than we need anyway. Can I get this thing to fit in here somewhere? Can, just not in a good spot. I really wanted to do it right up against that road. I'm going to have to go out by one. How far out can we go? Not very. Go in pretty far, though. So it's not disrupting the water too much. We'll build it there. And we'll throw a couple more. Well, actually, we'll throw all 4 on builders, 6 on laborers. The laborers will come get this cleared and stocked up really quick. Excuse me. And then we'll be able to start trading, get some extra things in, so that when I do get this agriculture area over here started, I can do more than just pumpkins, olives, and sheep. Those sheep are kind of cool because our tailor can then switch to wool coats, which are better than just hide coats. They stay warmer with those. So we want to get the sheep going eventually, but not a priority right now. Gotta watch our wood and stone here. Eventually, but we've got plenty to collect. See, this is stone, irons, these black bits here. So if necessary, I can just build a bridge across and tell them, hey, go get this stuff. But there's a lot of it out here, and I'll eventually clear all of that anyway. All of this will eventually be cleared. This will all just be houses and buildings and things like that. Alright, now we're building our trading posts. We'll be able to put some tradespeople. And I think they're called traders, yeah. Eventually we'll have traders here. I just don't remember how many it takes. There we go, I had to take a drink. Man, we're up to 31 adults now. Holy crap, I need some more houses. How many do we have? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's not right, I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I only have 12 houses. That's only enough for 21 adults. I need more houses quick. So that way we continue to have kids being born, which will give us people that can work more jobs, and on and on and on and on and on. Here. Oh, yeah, we need tradespeople. My bad. How many do you need? How many do you need? Oh my god, they need 6. 4, 5. Do I have enough? That. Get all 6 of them there. And what you'll see here now is I can say, let's store about, how many fish do we have in the barn? 4,000 fish. We've got way more food than we need. And fish are actually good to trade with. So let's move half those fish here. The laborers are going to start doing that. How are we doing on coats? We have 52. We can store a few coats there. Let's say 10. That'll let us trade that. We've got enough tools. Let's move 20 tools over here. Don't want to do any leather. Well, no, we've got a lot of leather, though. What else do we have a lot of? Maybe a little leather. Maybe a little bit. Not a lot, though. We'll just do like 15 leather. And then these guys will start going to get that stuff. See, they've already moved 2,000 fish over. They've already moved 10,000 or 10 coats. And now we're waiting on them to bring this leather over. This thing can hold a ton of stuff. And then when a guy does finally come, we can order things from him that he has available. Each tradesperson has different types of things. There's smugglers, there's bootleggers, there's all kinds of different people that you can bring in. But right now I need to get some houses built. Because we are out of places for people who will have babies. We'll make that one face that way just so all the houses aren't going the same direction. I'm going to just give some variety. Build. Let's go ahead and plop down more than we need. That way we're ready for the next wave. People to come in here. We'll do this one this direction. This one this direction, so hopefully these guys can just go to work there. We'll throw a road in that connects this guy up here to here. Then we need to find something that can go here. Don't really know yet what just yet, but we'll find something. Let's get these houses built though. Man, really need 8 builders, but they'll get them done. As you can see, as they get once built, this number will just drop on its own. So yeah, it's, man, already an hour and 35 minutes has gone by. I feel like I've been playing this game 15 minutes. It just, this is the type of game that just really captures my attention. And I normally don't talk this much, obviously, when I play this game, but it's just something that I can play this game for days and days and hours upon hours. I just really love it. We are getting a little low on our stone. Iron's okay, so what I'm going to do is tell them to go into all of this area here, remove stone, all of this area here, and remove stone. And I don't want to go too far from house because it is late autumn. I don't want them getting cold when they're out here. And then I'll remove a little bit of iron, like just from this area here. Gotta be careful not to cross over the water because they can get across the water, but it takes forever. We'll just take the iron from those 2 small spots. The laborers will go take care of that for us. Wow, Rathina is 51 years old now. Did she ever have any more kids? What was she here? Right? Wow, where'd your other kid go? Is he an adult now? God, I'm gonna have to go find him. He must have grown up. But they did. At least they had another kid. Oh, she married a younger man. Good for her. So how you guys doing over there in chat? Not seeing a whole lot of comments, and this isn't really the type of game to really, hey, go shoot a cop and rob stores. It's definitely different than GTA. But as we get going, and once we've got the basics going here, and I get some agriculture going, I'll actually engage with you guys a little bit more so that you can help me guide the future of this town. But that'll be next week. Tonight, we're just really focused on getting this core town built up. We might be able to get farms started here. We've got enough people, really, that we could probably start a farm. I'd want to build another barn here so we don't have to go all the way up to this one. And we could probably go ahead and plant a couple of crops. Maybe we'll start with the sheep, though. Maybe we'll start with... yeah, let's do that. Let's start with some sheep. Because not only do they provide food, but they provide... wool and things like that. So this will give us mutton and wool. So once we get some wool, we'll be able to tell our tailor up here to start making wool coats. I want a fenced-in pasture because I just really like them a lot more. And I'm going to make it a fairly large one, just so they're really productive with it. Actually, oh, I wanted to build a barn. Boy, I almost screwed that up, didn't I? Let's build a barn first. As you can see a road, you can go behind it. Let's build that there. Oh, I have nomads. Oh no, no, that's not what it is. However you say that, the blacksmith died during childbirth. And as you look up here, Jerry Lynn replaced her as the blacksmith. So wow, she died. Sorry, buddy, your mom died. Boy, that sucks. That's sad. So sad. Yeah, this game has like just some of the strangest. I thought that was my nomad icon. Nomad icon's blue. Yeah, that's what happens when somebody dies. And now when we go here, since that's our first death, we have a grave in the cemetery. You can't really zoom in, I don't think, and see who they are. I think it just tells us. Yeah, I can't get it that specific. There we go. That's our first death, and I bet that kid was probably. See, the people go here and mourn. They go out there and they remember they're dead. It's kind of cool. Come here, hold still so I can hold. Fine, let's click somewhere else. I'm trying to click that X and they kept moving around on me. Yeah, let's get this barn built, guys. Oh, I need some builders. So we've definitely got some people that we can do now that work in the field. And I'm gonna build. Actually, wait, one more storage type. So there's something cool you can do here with this mod. You can build like meat lockers, which will store the mutton that we're about to make from having sheep. I'm going to make it face this way because if you remember right, I can make a road go by the barn. So then I can back this field up, or this pasture, right up against that, which, well, it's hard to see where that's turning green. There it is. Alright, we're going to make this 18 by 18, which is pretty doggone big, honestly. But I want to make it big because as soon as we already have sheep somewhere. God knows where they are right now. But I'll be able to, once this is built, say, hey, put the sheep there. It won't be very many, but the bigger the pasture is, the sheep will breed, and eventually, when they reach capacity is when they will finally say, okay, we now can slaughter these sheep for food and for wool. And that's when I'll be able to tell these guys, or the tailor, to start making wool coats, and we'll start getting some mutton from the sheep. My God, I'm making myself hungry again. Yeah, we're going to have a barn, which doesn't require workers. Meat locker doesn't require workers. But this guy will take probably 3 or 4 workers. Herdsmen that we'll be looking at, I believe, are their name. Yeah, it'll be herdsmen. We're still doing good on food, so I'm not going to increase the number of fishers than we have right now. And once they start reproducing sheep, that'll be a source of food too. So I think we're fine with 2 fishermen. We're never running low. Every once in a while we run low on firewood, but it's always right at the end of winter, so not a big deal. Because they don't use a ton of firewood. Even though you see all their chimneys going, they don't use a whole lot. Alright, so I have 1, 2, actually the city hall tell me how many houses I have built. I think it does. I have 19 homes and 17 families. So I always want the homes to be a little bit bigger than the number of families that I have. It just makes it a lot easier to manage everything. And even though I don't have nomads coming yet, I'm going to prepare for them by putting a boarding house. So if they show up, they can just go right from City Hall over here, boom, to their boarding house and jump in. And the boarding house will just sit empty until nomads show up or until there's homeless people of some other sort. Alright, so we've got that built. They're already starting to store stuff there. And they will spread out where they store things, but they're always going to go to the barn or the storage place that's closer. So that's why this one is more full than this one. Because right now, that's a long trek for the blacksmith. That's, to go. I'll probably put my market here, actually, because I'm going to wind up using a lot of this space down here. And this is going to be mainly agriculture, not a lot of... There will be, like, some houses, like, in this area, just so they don't have to walk all the way from up here to get to where their profession is. But that'll come later. I don't know if I want to upgrade that to a warehouse. What does a warehouse do? I can't remember. Where's warehouse? Barn. What is a warehouse? Where's the freaking warehouse? Guess I can't just outright build a warehouse. It's interesting. Can't remember what a warehouse does with this mod, so I'm not going to bother with one right now. Oh, I love these bank barns. They can only be built in areas with a hill. I'm not going to build one, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like I said, they can only be built into the side of a hill here, which is kind of cool. I like them a lot. They're just storage buildings. They'll store anything like you would store in a barn. They're just neat because they allow you to use some of the terrain that you normally can't build on. Because the only things you can build on hills, and it's something we're a long way from having, the only thing you can build on hills are mines on these really big hills here. You can back them into, you gotta find, they're tricky to place, but eventually you can back them in there. But like they can mine coal and iron. Yeah, they can mine coal and iron. But they take like 15 or 20 workers each. Alright, so what type of pasture is this going to be? It's going to be a sheep pasture. So we need some herdsmen. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, where's my sheep? They'll move the sheep here eventually because we have them. Or at least it said we have them. I'm going to be really embarrassed if we don't actually have sheep. But wherever the sheep were stored previously, which City Hall swore that we had sheep. It says I've acquired sheep, pumpkin, and olives, so there should be some sheep that were running around town somewhere. They will go find them and eventually bring them here, and we'll have however many sheep are wandering about. God knows where they've gotten off to in the past 8 years, but we'll figure it out. They're definitely working. Don't know what they're doing, but they're working. Good for you guys. You're poking the ground with sticks really well. Good for you. Keep poking that ground with sticks. Go find your freaking sheep, will ya? God. Shouldn't one of you guys go look for the sheep? Really? It tells us we have sheep. Go find the sheep. Please. Go find the sheep. Actually, the livestock usually just wander over their own. Like, if I were to get another type of livestock and change this over, if I traded with the trades guy, you would actually just see them kind of like walk down the road and do it on their own. But we're not there yet. Oh, look at that. They got that finished already. Holy crap, these guys are getting efficient. Oh no, what are we doing? How are we doing on houses? 20 homes, 20 houses. Oh, here we go. Here comes one of our tradespeople. I'll pause it so that I can keep an eye on it once he actually gets here. But he's going to pull up there to the dock, and I'll get a notice that I have a merchant that has arrived. So I'm going to pause it just so we can look at what the merchant does. See, he's offering me barley and kernels. It's the only thing he has. I could trade these right now if I wanted to, just to get some additional food resources in. But my people are really healthy right now, and that isn't really a whole lot of either one that he has. So instead, what I'm interested in is what he has that he can bring me later. And I can do more with wheat and flour and things like that than I can do with the other things he's offering, and even with like bread. And you can tell I just wanted the next one, or I want it every time you come, and then you just click on it. But honestly, you know, let's go ahead and go corn and wheat, because they actually because they can just cook corn on its own. Sugar cookies are just making me hungry. Barley is not a whole lot they can do with. It'll be good for making alcohol, honestly, later. Cheese bread, let's just do regular bread. And I'd like for you to bring that every visit. Now, one of the problems with doing this, because I'm custom ordering these from, what was your name? Sheila. Oh, she's a titan. Since I'm ordering these from Sheila, that was a TTA joke. You guys watch my TTA live streams, you all know who Sheila is. But since I'm ordering, this will cost more than what she normally brings to me. So you always got to think about that. It's going to cost me more to trade, because right now, if I trade, like if I wanted all of this barley, I would need to trade things that add up to 333. But I have a lot of fish, I would be able to complete that trade no problem. You know, and I would just hit trade and go. But right now, not anything I'm interested in. So I'm just going to make sure this is on every time I visit. And until I can produce my own corn and bread, I'll keep asking her to bring those things to me. But for now, no thanks, Sheila. You can go on your way. And off she goes. And that's the trading post. And there will be several different merchants that arrive. That's the word I was looking for. Merchants. There'll be several different types of merchants that arrive. They all carry different types of things, and just give you the ability to really expand. Welcome back, Paige. Glad to have you back. We're coming up on the hour and 48 minutes, so we got about 12 more minutes that we're going to be going here. These guys still haven't found their sheep. I don't know what's up with them, but we do have a lot of people that we can assign now. Our school's not getting full. We've got still just 6 students. They're fine there. Church isn't full, so we don't need one of those. No nomads have shown up. So what I want to do is continue my agriculture here. So I'm going to make a field. I think it's pumpkins growing a field, don't they? Yeah, pumpkins growing a field. So we're going to make a crop field right next to this pasture right here. And I'm going to... Ooh, I can't make it very wide, though. So let's put it here. It won't be a very big one for now. That's okay, because we don't need a lot of food right now. We'll just add a little variety to the diet. And variety is good. I just don't want to encroach too far over here, because that herbalist gathers to there. Actually, I could probably do all this. That herbalist will be alright, because I can always add a second one later in another wood area. Yeah, let's get some farmers going here. Even though it's late autumn, and comes spring, yeah, it changes a lot really quick, Paige. A lot happens in a very short time in this game. Gonna need to build a couple more houses here in a minute, too. But we're gonna get this crop field going. I wonder where olives are. Olive trees, right? So I need an orchard. Alright, so we need... Tell them, what do we want to plant here? I want to plant pumpkins here. We need some farmers, but it's late autumn. It's too late to really go there, so I'm not going to do that just yet. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and have these guys make an orchard for the olives, so that come spring we're ready to grow those too. And why is it not? Oh, do I want a dense orchard? Yeah, I want a dense orchard. And eventually olives can be used to make other things as well. That's as far as that orchard can go. Right there, yeah. Okay, that's fine. So we'll get these guys to build us an orchard, which is really them just turning it into an orchard. And then come spring, these 11 people can get converted into farmers. But for now, they're just going to wander around and carry stuff around for us. Now let's see, it's telling us that we're near capacity on some of the stuff. No big deal. We'll be building some houses here in a minute. That'll take care of that. Actually, that'd be a good project for these guys to work on once they've got this field done. So I'm sure that our housing situation... Yeah, I need 4 more houses now. So let's get those in here. Fit a house there. Indeed I can. Let's go ahead and squeeze in however many we can here. 1. Let's turn this one this way. Nope, not happening. Alright, turn it that way. 2, 3, 4. Can I get a 5th? That way we're prepared. I cannot get a 5th. Don't want to put one here because I'd have to walk around where there's no road. I don't really want to do that. And honestly, I should have built a road through here, but I wasn't thinking about it. Actually, let's cancel that one. Bring our road up here. We'll eventually have a bridge that crosses there. And now I can put a house here. Here. I'm gonna put a house. A house here. Oh my gosh, really? My road's gonna screw up where I can put a house? Are you kidding me? Alright. Where can I fit a house in here then? Here? No, I don't like that. Let's put some down here by this agricultural area. Squeeze one in there. Oh, let's put them here then. 1, 2. Gonna fit them behind you. Of course not. I can fit them that way, but there's no road. I guess I can make a little cul-de-sac. That runs through right there. We'll put a road that just runs right down the middle of these guys' houses. I'm sure they'll be very happy with that. We'll make sure it touches all these houses. We'll just make a nice little road that goes through there. Make it really wide, and now we'll have enough houses in just a minute. Get everything in. This is going to be olives, and we are going to need how many farmers? We're going to need... So we're going to need 7 farmers, so we're going to need a lot of these guys to turn into farmers as soon as winter. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get them in there now, so that, yeah, see, it's spring. We want them planting. We want them in those fields. So we're going to bump down that. We'll get the houses built fine. It's no problem. We want the laborers more than anything right now to bring in materials, so... Get these houses built, get some crops growing. We'll probably get through a harvest. I still don't know where the sheep are. They're around here somewhere. They'll turn up. They'll turn up. Yep, come on. Work it. See, when I clicked that, those people were like, wait, I don't have anything to do anymore. And he still doesn't realize he has anything to do anymore. You can fix that really easily. Going boop, 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 and boop, boop, boop. Boop. Boop, boop. There we go. Don't know what they're really working since there's no sheep, but the sheep just wandered the fuck off somewhere. Who knows where? Ah, sheep. Where are the sheep? I just haven't. I saw them at the very beginning of the game, but I haven't seen them since. Are you a sheep? Nope, you're a deer. That is it. Yeah, who knows where the sheep have wandered off to. The game has calling for them, I assure you. They just haven't gotten here yet. But yeah, see, there they go. They're planting the orchard. Now, orchards take a while. This will not yield, most likely, any food for the first couple of years, because these trees have to grow, and then they'll automatically harvest them once they're ready to be harvested. And the same thing will happen over here. Like right now, you can see the yield as summer goes into spring, or spring goes into summer, into fall, this will eventually get really close to 100%. You got to watch it. You got to watch your temperatures. If you get an early frost, it'll damage your crops and they won't be able to get as much. So if you have a very agriculture heavy town, then you wind up with some problems. Our food is getting low now that we're up to 41 adults. So what I'm going to do is bump up these fishers that we have and basically double our fish intake. Because we did move 2,000 of those fish. And of course, if they started starving, I could dump these fish back out in the general population or this general storage, and we'd be fine. But we also have pumpkins that are coming in, so they'll be able to make, you know, pumpkin pie and things like that. Eventually, we'll have olives, which I think can be turned into something else. Somewhere, I thought there was a tool that showed me production chains, but I guess not. I could have sworn there was. Oh, look, we can see paths that people take between their homes and workplaces. Can we really? So that guy doesn't. I don't really know how this tool works. I've never clicked on it before. Oh, there we go. Our tailor lives there. Our teacher lives there. Our woodcutter lives there. Our cleric lives there. People will always try to live very close to where they work. Our fishermen all live right there. These guys have a long trek, but I knew that when I built it. I knew that would happen. But you can see they picked some of the closest houses on the streets. But that's kind of cool. And this is showing me I could probably benefit from a road right there. No, I'm not going to do that. No. I don't like crooked roads. I like my nice, straight line roads. But yeah, it's kind of cool thing. It shows you even the pathing that's going on. So here we're in early summer, and you can see we're already at a 58% yield. These guys are at no yield because we don't have any mature trees, but they are. Oh, we picked up our saving there. They are planted now, so they'll just continue working these. And in the winter, these guys won't have anything to do. So anytime anybody doesn't have anything to do, they just become a laborer. Like I'm just going to throw those two builders and become laborers, which means they'll just go between all these different places, collect things, and do what they need to do. Blah 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 blah. Looks like we got about 3 minutes left. What I'm going to do is get us into autumn so that we can see our first harvest, and then we'll end it there, and then we'll pick this back up next Thursday night. So we're definitely growing. Let's check and see how our housing situation is. 28 homes, only 21 families, so we're fine. We're fine on that. We've got a good balance. They'll continue as they grow into adults, moving into the houses. Like right now, he's just an old farmer. He's 60 years old, living on his own. Man, she's almost 60. Oh, and all their kids are grown up. They won't have any more because they're old now. So yeah, their lineage, we'll have to go find their kids. I'm not even sure how to do that. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, we want to go find Cleaver. As a matter of fact, I need to make a note. Rathina's kid is Cleaver. Make a note here. Rathina's kid to follow. Cleaver, the future serial killer. Alright, yay. I'm surprised I haven't had more merchants show up. Usually by now, maybe the word hasn't got out that we have a place to trade. So there we go. We added 2 more fishermen. Our food stabilized and it's starting to go back up. And we'll support the town, just those 2 fishermen. It's late summer. They're going to have to start harvesting here pretty soon. But they will do it automatically when it reaches 100%, I believe. But sometimes I do it early, even if it's not at 100%, just because I don't want an early frost to kill it all. So usually like in autumn, I click that, and I don't want to risk it. But sometimes they get, yeah, there we go, boom, it just jumped because we're in late summer. When this hits 100%, you're going to see them start harvesting that. They'll start moving those pumpkins into this barn. And maybe, oh, hey, we have another merchant to end tonight. That's awesome. Let's pause this. Let's see what this merchant is. This is, oh, it's Sheila again, and she brought our corn of bread. But they're a lot more expensive. But I want them all. 500. 500. This just introduced extra food into my people. A little more variety. And it's 1,000 total that I have to spend, so I'm going to give her 1,000 fish. I could trade the coats and the leather, but I like saving those for pricier items. So there we go. I've got 1,000, 1,000. I trade. That is now in the inventory here, and what you'll see happen is, since I don't have any of that requested, I don't have any bread desired, they'll move that out to these barns, and you'll see that happen really quick. You'll see this number of bread decrease, you'll see the fish pop back up, and the corn start decreasing. There, see, somebody just went and got it all. They're probably going to bring it over here. Pumpkins. There we go. There's our bread. There's our corn. And now we've got that in our food supply. How did I know they were going to bring it over there? Because I figured this barn was probably a little farther than that barn. That's how I knew. It wasn't magic. That's just kind of where it went. So there we go. We've got our town going. We started just 2 hours ago with 10 adults, 9 children. We're now up to 43 adults, 7 students, 14 children. Really good growth. So we're going to bring up our options menu. I'm going to save this right here. You can see I got a lot of other saves. Well, I had a lot of other saves. I moved them off my hard drive. But we're going to click on the new save. We'll save that for tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and move it really slow speed so nothing disastrous happens, just to kind of play us out. Rathena has aged to 60 years old. Our town is doing quite well. I forget, what did I call this town? Oh yeah, Kirkvillis. I don't know how to say it, but yeah. That is 2 hours worth of Banished, just that quick. I will be back next Thursday night for another 2 hours in this same town. However, don't forget that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I stream GTA Online. It'll vary back and forth between the Xbox 360 and on PC, depending on where I have people from the Vainglorious crew to play with. If you want to be featured in those live streams, click the About section of my YouTube channel to find out, or to find the link to the Vainglorious crew. You can also find my Steam gamer tag, so you can play other Steam online games with me. My Rockstar Social Club is there, so you can add me as a friend on Rockstar Social Club for GTA. And if you are a 360 player, a link to my Xbox 360 gamer tag is there, and you can add me as a friend that way. For almost everything, I'm Brandon72Mo. If you're looking for how to get in touch with me, just look for Brandon72Mo on any of those, and you'll find me. Again, the crew, though, that you want to play with for GTA Online is... Oh, I thought is this a new one? Is this a new one? I thought are we not? Oh, I never dismissed her. My bad. You can go. She would have sat there for a long time. But yeah, you can play online with me GTA on Tuesdays and Saturdays, 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll be back next Thursday night with Banished. So watch for that, 7 p.m. Central Time. In the meantime, follow me on Twitter at Brandon72Mo. I send out announcements of all my live streams as they're starting. I'll also be moving eventually into doing some spontaneous Twitch live streams, so you want to watch for those there. If you've enjoyed tonight's video, please consider subscribing to my channel and maybe hitting that thumbs up button. If you did not enjoy tonight's video and you feel you need to hit the thumbs down button, that's fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But please leave me some specific feedback and let me know what you would have liked to have seen, what I could have done different that would have earned that thumbs up and subscription instead. In the meantime, guys, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. I hope you have a great evening. And until Saturday night on GTA Online, this is Brandon72Mo saying good night.